everybody. This is Marley K. How are you? Hope you are well. Today, we are going to talk about smart cities. And the reason that I'm talking about smart cities is because they will definitely be problematic for Black people. I love to talk about my people. I love to warn us about what's going down. So, if you do not live in a smart city or if you shop in a smart city, you may live out in the country and you don't have to necessarily go into the city. That's cool. But eventually, this smart city technology is going to ensnare everybody. And it's tied to this global climate change agenda that they are conjuring up. I don't know if it's going to work, but it is out there. The technology is out there. Um, the Biden administration put out a huge package in the infrastructure bill last year for all types of tech upgrades to include making sure that all the places that didn't have internet access during the pandemic um, got broadband wiring so that they could offer wireless internet services. They changed out the meters on a lot of homes so that now we have smart meters so that they can read, how much energy we consume, what times we consume it. And it's all tied to this wireless internet. So if you have, 4G, 5G technology, they're going to go up to 6G. All this stuff is tied together. So it's really important that we understand what is happening as Black people. A lot of us are located in large cities, and pretty much every large city in America is a smart city. But even small cities and municipalities got this money from the infrastructure bill last year. And so they too are smart cities. I live in a little town, a little county that has like only 25,000 people total. But when you come into this little town with like 3 or 4 stoplights, it's a smart city. They got money to make tech upgrades. And I'm not sure what type of tech upgrades they made because I didn't dig that deep into it. But I just relocated from Florida. And Florida is like the wild, wild west of tech upgrades and smart cities and Internet of Things. They don't talk about it, but they are. So, some of the things when they talk about smart cities, they're going to be having cameras and sensors in parks. You will always be recorded and monitored. If you have any type of device that can connect to these things, it will be able to pick it up, and you don't have to give permission. It is not against the law. They're just doing it. So unless you challenge it, this is what life is going to be like for us. Same applies for like if you're in the main city, you're driving now here where I live and also in Florida, they had these cameras, and I know we had cameras once before, but they have installed these cameras again. And these cameras constantly record 24/7. If you're in a city, say if you drive from one county to the next county, or if you go from one smart city to the next smart city, these technologies are tracking you. So they get your tag number. And if you have a smart car, they can actually, collect data from, the technology inside of the vehicle. So everything that's connected to the internet, whether it's satellite or whether it's, some 5G, whatever, however you have your internet connections, everything is getting ready to be connected. So there's like going to be no way that we can get away from being tracked. If you're in your house, you're on your phone, if you're on your computer, if you are on your tablet, if you're using your Bluetooth, if you're watching a smart TV, if you have smart appliances, Alexa, Ring, everything is going to be connected to the Internet of Things. So there's going to be no way for you to escape this unless you get rid of everything that can track you and basically stay out of these places that have smart cities, which is almost going to be impossible because a lot of the things that we need are in smart cities. So it's going to be interesting, but I just want to talk a little bit about it today. So for those of you who don't know what a smart city is, this is from the Cisco website. So here it is. It says, what is a smart city? A smart city uses digital technology to connect, protect, and enhance the lives of citizens. IoT, which is Internet of Things, sensors, video cameras, social media, social media is not out in the public. So that means they are going to be using this stuff and collecting our information. So if you're using social media, they're going to know how we behave and what we do on social media, no matter where you go. You could live in one state. If you drive to visit relatives in another state, guess what? If you're on social media, the Internet of Things is going to pick you up in this smart city that you may be in. Doesn't matter how big or small the place is, but this technology is set up to basically track us and track our behavior. It's going to be tied to the social credit score, and it's going to also be tied to them tracking our carbon emissions, which is tied to the climate change agenda. If you haven't really been paying attention to COP27, it is tied to that. So I'll also include a link to COP27 so you kind of see what it was about. And, you know, our people know what time it is, but I just need to let us know like what is coming down the pipe, because this will impact us. So getting back to this description, so it says social media and other inputs act as a nervous system, providing the city operator and citizens with constant feedback so they can make informed decisions. Now, that does not make any sense to me because we already have emergency preparedness. We've been working on emergency preparedness, disaster preparedness for a very long time. And only certain cities that were major threats really had this advanced technology, like New York City, Miami, California, and a couple of other places that had the potential for nuclear threats, the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, because that's where the White House is. That's where our, national headquarters is. And a lot of employees, our military and so on and so forth are there. So those were already smart cities. If you have ever visited DC or the DMV, you just know you're on camera everywhere you go. There's a camera on every building. Like, you are not getting out there without being recorded. So this technology has really been limited to a few places, but now, since the pandemic, which is the crisis that was the catalyst for them to roll out this technology, is everywhere. So it doesn't matter how big or small your city is. What you have to do is do the research, find out if your city or your state got this money, if your legislature approved it, and then find out where it went. And then you'll be able to tell whether or not your city or where you live or whatever proximity you're close to, if they have smart city technology. And if not, then you will have to decide whether or not that's a place you want to visit, and how to handle yourselves accordingly. There's a video with this, but it won't let me play it. I tried to play it earlier, and I don't know if it's because I have no idea. I don't know why it won't let me play it. But anyway, there's a video, and I'll include the link to this page in the description. So it says, how does a smart city work? A smart city collects and analyzes data from IoT sensors and video cameras. In essence, it senses the environment so that the city operator can decide how and when to make decisions. I'm sorry, how. So the city operator can decide how and when to take action. Some actions can be performed automatically. For example, a public waste bin can contact the city for service when it is near capacity instead of waiting for a scheduled pickup day. Which is interesting. I don't know why we need this. I don't know why they feel like this is, like, nothing the dominant society does makes any sense at all. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So, I don't see the need for it, but we understand what the agenda is, and so we just kind of just need to know. They're trying to sell us this, having the ability to see the trash can full 2 days before it needs to be dumped is some kind of, advantage. So you send somebody 2 days early to pick up the trash, whoop-de-doo. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, what are the benefits of a smart city? And this is where I found I was tickled to death, but also like really annoyed, because here is where they tell you what's going on, what the deal is, and so you kind of have to read between the lines. So for city agencies, it's to gain more citizens